But because marijuana and these endocannabinoids, their activities are so pervasive in our body, they literally regulate every system in your body. Your immune system, digestive system, reproductive system, cardiovascular system. Everything in your body is homeostatically maintained by endocannabinoids, meaning balance. They are how our body tries to balance how we interact with our environment when our environment becomes stressful for us. Stressful psychologically, stressful biochemically. So these are very, very critical compounds, and the use of cannabis can have a profound effect in terms of helping to stop nerve degeneration, helping restore functional nerves, helping restore new ways of thinking. And this is just really touching on the surface of the humongous number of benefits that this plant can have for so many different illnesses. It's not that we should be limiting it to one thing or another. In my mind, for most age-related illnesses, and a lot of these toxin-related illnesses fall into that category in terms of how they affect our cardiovascular system and their immune system and our nervous system and cause cancer. These are all really illnesses that fit under the umbrella of age-related illnesses. And they all have at their basis inflammatory kinds of responses that produce free radicals, and what our cannabinoid system is evolved to do over many hundreds of millions of years has been to protect us from those kinds of imbalances, to restore the kind of health that we need. And because of our environment in particular, and because we are living longer, we need to be able to adapt very rapidly today. And we can't do that on an evolutionary scale. The way for us to do that as people, as intelligent people, is to make sure we're eating good diets, stay away from toxins, and eat these essential fatty acids, and when necessary, consume cannabinoids.
Hi, this is Dr. Bob, and I just wanted to comment on Rick's work. I think he's doing amazingly important work. There's a lot of science that supports the cancer cell killing ability of cannabinoids. Both the ones that our body makes are endocannabinoids, and the ones that the plant makes, the phytocannabinoids. The drug companies are not going to do what Rick is doing because they have nothing to gain. They can't patent the plants, and they can't make the millions of dollars off of the plant that would justify for them doing the research. So Rick is really a pioneer here, and I think some of the work some of the results that he's been getting clearly is supported by the science. I would say that don't expect marijuana to cure all illnesses all the time for everyone. But I think that these concentrated extracts for many people will be exactly what they need.
I would like to mention that this magazine, Weed World, volume 79, page 38, they just put an article out about making the medicinal oil, do it yourself. It's all our recipe. So I would like to give this magazine credit for being the first one to step up to the plate and start telling the people the truth. And also, I just received an email from the Czech Republic. And in Czechoslovakia, the Hemp magazine in Czechoslovakia, they're doing a big article about this. And the magazines in Poland and Germany. And apparently, we're going to get the covers. From what we were told, they said the front page. So I guess we're going to get the cover. And also, they asked if I would be willing to come to Europe and do a speaking tour this fall. So, of course, I will.
Do you speak Czech, Rick? Or?
Pardon me?
Do you speak Czechoslovakian?
I'll work on it. No, actually, they said they're going to pay all my expenses. They're going to supply an interpreter. And believe me, they'll need one. But what I'm even more excited about, the other night I was talking to Jack Hare in California. And I mentioned it to Jack. And Jack said he would come on the tour with me. Right. So if we can get this, that's what we want. The greatest hemp activist that ever lived. So anyway, it's nice. I would like to mention the fact, where's all these North American publications? Why aren't they doing anything? Could they be controlled? Yeah. Of course they are. Okay, folks, now, as you can see, like I said, we're videotaping here. anyone that has any problem with being on camera, like before the questions are asked, we'd like to at least have Christians standing beside you, so the people, like when the seminar is put up, so people can hear the questions. You don't have to appear on camera if you don't want to, but I don't see why anybody should be ashamed to investigate hemp medicine. So, does anyone have any questions? Okay, just 1 second until Christian gets there. Do you mind being on camera?
No, that's fine. I don't think my problem with my first question. I was wondering, you addressed a lot of different diseases, which mostly were terminal, which were chronic. However, you also mentioned that it might be a cure for AIDS, which is an infectious disease. Now, do you have actual studies done that suggest that it's also preventing against infections, or is it most of your results that you have obtained or case studies that you have seen, were they all chronic diseases?
Well, I've treated, or we provided the oil to people with many different infectious problems, like diabetic ulcers that won't heal. This oil will heal up a diabetic ulcer in no time. That's something the medical system cannot do. They always wait till the gangrene sets in and then they lob off the foot. If you look on YouTube, Sean, he's a young man from Montana, and Sean, he put up, he's an AIDS patient. He's had AIDS for 20 years, and he's having wonderful results using the oil. Sean is up there with Dr. Elderman out of California. So what I try to tell people, this is not just about curing disease, this is about preventing disease. And in truth, this medicine is literally a cure-all. It seems to work for everything. So, I mean, and it does, when you take it, it does no harm. Isn't that what we want from medicine? Do we really want to take chemical poisons that are doing nothing but damage to our bodies? So I recommend anybody when they come to me, even people that have, even people that say, well, the time you hit 40, 50 years old, there's bad things happening in all our bodies. And I tell people, I said, look, take the full 60 grams of oil just as if you had terminal cancer. And what this is going to, when you take that oil, and as quickly as possible, it's rejuvenating vital organs, it's resetting your body back to a healthy state. And so I recommend it for everyone. And another thing I would mention, people get horrified when I start talking about this, but I would like to see our school children taking small doses of THC every day. I'm not talking about getting the kiddies high. Little doses, the THC would build up in their systems. Diseases like diabetes, MS, cancer, and so many others, I think, could be entirely prevented. Longer and healthier lives. And isn't that what we all want? Yeah, you mind the camera?
No. I've been smoking it for many years. I've made my own oil. Unfortunately, I can't make it the way you do. But I understand if we smoke it, we aren't getting the full potential out of it. But is the concentration really that high in the oil as opposed to smoking it? That's why it's doing these miracle cures. Like I said, I've been smoking it over 30 years, and my back isn't any better now than it was back then. Is it because it's so concentrated that it's working? I'm ingesting a minimum 5 grams a day myself.
Yeah.
But
you're smoking it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, see, like I said before, smoking, that version of the medicine, it is beneficial for someone. I mean, I would sooner see someone smoke a joint than take an antidepressant, which is a chemical. But when you have severe pain, now that it definitely, in some strains, will definitely ease a certain amount of pain and help you with sleep. But when you take the oil, it goes to work on the problem. And I mean, it's the secret is ingesting the raw, unburned THC. That's the whole secret to this. A lot of people say to me, well, you found the cure for cancer. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm just one of many people that have found the cure for cancer. But what I really discovered was the proper way to use this medicine. So, but I can tell you right now, brother, you start taking good oil, and in no time, I think you'd be very surprised, with your back condition.
Yes, I grow for a patient, and he can't do any oil, can't butter or anything. So unfortunately, I can't put all that bud in my oil.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's like I said, if they would if they would get out of the way and let us do this freely, as far as I'm concerned, cannabis isn't worth any more than a pound of corn. A pound of cannabis and a pound of corn should cost about the same. And then at that, you know, and if they would just get out of the way and let us do it, the medicine could be made cheaper than aspirin.